Well, another year, another PulseCon, and we are going to break it down piece by piece. I'm going to give you my previews, my predictions. We're going to talk about what could the next HasLab for GIJoe Classified Series be. Once again, congrats to the Joe team for an amazing backing for the Rattler, and also we're going to talk about Beetlejuice, one of my picks of the year. Fantastic movie that's giving us a lot of fantastic action figures and much, much more. Folks, you are watching Black Genghis Live. Welcome back to Black Genghis Live. I'm your host, KJ, aka Black Genghis, and I am excited about what we're going to be seeing on PulseCon 2024. This will be the fifth PulseCon I've been around for. Ever since I was able to get that deluxe Snake Eyes off of the first PulseCon, I'm like, yes, bring it. Let me see what's going on right there. We got some people up in the chat. Whoa, man, listen, let's go ahead and say hello. Son of a Crayon Slayer, once again, one of my favorite YouTube names. What's going on, man? The homie Chad Kinsler. What's going on with you? Gun Bunny. That Exo Squad is looking sick. Hold on a second. I'm taking a slight detour. I'm gonna go over to Gun Bunny's YouTube account real quick because Homeboy is breaking down Exo Squad, and you gotta see to believe it. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm really quick. I'm gonna interrupt my own show because I can, so you guys can take a look at this. Take a look at this Exo Squad JT Marsh custom. Dude breaks it down piece by piece. He goes over the figures he uses. Check out my dude Gun Bunny Customs. Give him a like, give him a subscribe if you haven't already. Check out this figure. Look at that. Look, dude. Bravo. Bravo. That's amazing. Go ahead, holler at my dude Gun Bunny. Okay. Jason S, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Lawrence, what's going on with you, fool? No, it's cool. SCS Dog, thank you for joining. Figure Fight Club, what's going on with you, man? Thank you for joining. Hey, my pleasure, man. That was an amazing job, man. Yes, everybody, please peep that for real. I need to go ahead and let's see. I think I can put the link in my things. I can do what I want. I'm a grown man. All right, hold on a second. Post a comment. The power of science. All right, there you go. Check out that link. It's amazing. We're going to hop right into it. It's going to be an action-packed episode today. Let's talk about PulseCon. So, PulseCon starts tomorrow, Friday the 13th. That's not a bad omen. And it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So we're going to talk about all the different things, G.I. Joes, Legends, Star Wars. It's been, once again, 5 years that Hasbro Pulse has been hosting this PulseCon. We have PulseCon at home. We haven't really had an in-person PulseCon. We don't really need it like that. That's why you can go to things like Joe Fest in Georgia. You can go to San Diego Comic-Con here in California, where we have heat waves and earthquakes. It's an amazing time. But anyway, so here's the schedule. Right, we're going to kick things off with a pre-show that'll probably be on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. There will also be G.I. Joe starting at 1:10 Eastern, 10:10 Pacific. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons. We'll probably be talking about how you can just press an AI button and it'll run your campaign for you. Then there will also be Magic the Gathering. Let's see, give me one. All right, just had to check my notes. I have nothing on Magic the Gathering. I just remember there was that one deck that cost like $1,000, something like that. And then we'll also talk about Star Wars, where we'll probably talk about the latest in the Black Series, Vintage Collection, of course, Marvel Legends, comics, movies, shows, you name it. And then we have, of course, Transformers. We'll probably be talking a lot about Transformers 1, some of the action figures come from that movie. And then shopping opens up at 4 p.m. for premium members, 1 p.m. Pacific, then 2 p.m. Pacific for everyone else. So that's PulseCon in a bit. So let's go ahead and let's talk about previews and predictions. I think that this is pretty much, we're going to be seeing this stuff. There may be some name reveals. There may be some new characters that we haven't talked about yet. But, I'm very proud of my checklist. And one of the things I'm proud about is that I try to cover as much as possible from start to finish, from the first figures down to the newest releases. So, of course, we got the Rattler unlocked, Wild Weasel, Pilot Baroness, and the Gunner, and those lovely patches. We will probably see the digital renders. We'll probably see those figures in plastic form. So that's Saw Viper, Dialtone with the retro backpack, Xandar, Leatherneck. We'll probably see the Claw. We'll see it with the blast effects and everything else. It'll look dope. And then we'll probably see renders or in-hand figure releases, right? Either paint models or just ready to go. Frag Viper, Blowtorch, maybe not Heart Wrencher, but probably Footloose, Heavy Duty, maybe Heart Wrencher, because a lot of that's just going to be molding from, oh man, I'm blinking. Xanda? What? Oh, Zorana. Damn, man. YouTube brain. Anyway, Law and Order, we'll probably see that too, and the retro card backs. So we'll see a more retro style rock and roll. We'll have Mindbender, maybe without the staining. Thank you very much for that, Zorana. Yes. And also the retro Cobra Vipers sleeveless. That's going to be good. Hey, BX Medic, thanks for joining us, man. So it's going to be a great time looking at that Joe panel. And I think Hasbro has an opportunity to really speed things up in their pipeline. They've gotten into trouble before. When GIJoe Retaliation came out way back in 2013, those figures hit the shelves the year previous, 2012, because that was when the movie was supposed to come out, and then they held it back so that they could get 3D rendering, right? So that's why I still haven't gotten an official Retaliation roadblock yet, because Hasbro is just mad at that movie and all the hundreds of thousands of dollars they lost about a decade ago. But we saw it again with Eternals, right? Marvel Studios, and those figures are out early. And I think you can still go to e-tailers or different websites and order Eternals figures to this day for fodder or whatever have you. So I think we need to speed things up. I think we need to go ahead and we need to have that pipeline shrink, because you have fan reactions. They want some of these figures in hand. Hold on. Jason S. says, I'm torn about retro rock and roll, but the Claw and Blowtorch are must for me. Agreed. I'm probably going to grab all those retro cards. I'm still trying to grab some of the others right now. But at this point, I'm talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. Movie's been out for about 7-8 weeks. It came out the same weekend as San Diego Comic-Con. So this is a spoiler warning. To my fine friends who have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, or anyone watching and joining us, this is a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, please turn this off and catch up on episode 14, Black Genghis Live, later once you've seen the movie. It's a great movie. It'll probably be out in digital in a couple of months. All right. And 3, 2, 1. Boom. We need these. We need all of these characters in figure form. We need Elektra. We need X-23. We need Gambit. Gambit was hilarious. And, of course, we need the homie Blade. We need that Wesley Snipes Blade. Yes, even if it's old man Blade. He's a vampire. He's ageless. You can't really tell. We got to get that. And have them all lined up like this. Give them some goons to beat up. Man, that would be awesome. All right? With blast effects for Gambit, twirly effects for Elektra. Listen, I'm ready for this. I think the streets want this. I definitely want this. We got to make this happen. So I'm hoping against hope that the Legends team, they were able to get likenesses. They were working behind the scenes. They were talking to Ryan Reynolds' camp, Maximum Effort, and hopefully these figures will be ready to roll, or at least show off, even with renders or just sneak peeks, just announcements for PulseCon. That would be humongous. I really, really don't want to wait until 2026 to get these figures. That would just be really irritating. And also this one too. Let's get that Chris Evans Human Torch. You got the head sculpts. You can get the likeness rights. Chris Evans is a good dude. He loves Marvel. He loves working with that stuff. get the fire effects, make it a 2-pack, make it a pack with Human Torch, and then a Flame On Human Torch, right? It'll be like free marketing for Fantastic Four First Steps, the new MCU movie. So let's go ahead and get those figures, man. Please, like work fast. I'm calling it. I'm calling that we're going to get that Resistance group, including Human Torch, not with the skin peeled off, but we're probably going to get all those figures from Marvel Legends, and those are all going to get announced tomorrow morning. You can quote me. Now, also, yeah, throw in that shawl. That was a little fun reveal. That humongous apocalyptic scarf. Everyone needs an apocalypse scarf. Like, that's what you need. But, yeah, we got to make this happen. The hand wraps, come on, man. Like, you want to make this figure. You know you have what you need. You have the bearded Infinity War head sculpt. Just use that. And I'll just make my own. I'll just get a Human Torch, and then I'll just put on an Infinity War Steve Rogers head sculpt on it. Boom, problem solved. I'll do it myself. All right. As for Star Wars, once again, the Acolyte had a slow start. I felt like it got a lot stronger as it went on. I didn't feel like it finished strong, but it finished very interestingly. Unfortunately, it did not get renewed for a second season, but it had some of the dopest lightsaber fights I'd ever seen in the Star Wars project. So, once again, this is a spoiler warning for Star Wars The Acolyte, which only got one season, but I still think it's worth checking out if you're a Star Wars fan. So I will give this, to buy some time. MCR says, have you seen the meme where they replace Wolverine for this? I haven't, but that was fun. That was a fun gag in the movie, and I haven't seen those memes yet. And all right, so here goes. We got to get this in Black Series. This dude was murking Jedi Knights left and right. It was one of the high points in the series. And frankly, that whole sequence made the series worth talking about. And yeah, if you know your tropes, if you know your storytelling structure, then you already knew who this guy was. But for those that didn't, blew their minds. And especially with those fight scenes and everything else with the Jedi. So once again, I'm saying, we got to get this. We got to get this figure in there. People are asking for it. Jason Ness says it'll be a year. Yeah, I know. Well, at least announce it. At least announce like, hey, this is in the pipeline. You're going to get this. All right. With the sabers that pull apart, all that stuff. The helmet, they already got the helmet, the role play helmet for Black Series. That's crazy that we can get that helmet a week after the reveal was made, but we can't get this figure for like another year. Well, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be a lot sooner. People are already making customs. They're already getting handy. They are using different Star Wars figures, different soft goods, twisting capes around. That's pretty smart, like Mando capes and twisting it around. And yeah, there are probably some STL files where, people are probably already selling it on Big Cartel or on Instagram, stuff like that. So if you know where to look, you can probably get that Stranger helmet and customize your own Stranger action figure. That'd be super dope. Yeah, they did the role play helmet. MCR says that would depend on how well the Acolyte figures out now do on the pegs. Well, I know I still need to pick them up. At this point, I don't care they're High Republic. I'm just going to have them just as background Jedi for like Geonosis or all sorts of stuff. Them getting murked in Order 66, you name it. It'll be fun to have those. So I need to pick those up. Because if we can get this from the Ahsoka show, we should be able to get the Stranger. I don't even remember who this guy is, man. Like, I think it was supposed to be a red herring. I think people were supposed to think this was Ezra Bridger, but like turned to the dark side. I don't know. I don't care. They made this figure. Make the damn Stranger action figure so I can get that, man. And stop player hating. All right. Now, of course, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, Transformers, blah, blah. With Transformers, we're probably going to be getting a lot more Transformers 1 action figures. And we may get an announcement about different media, whether it's on Skybound, maybe a follow-up to the amazing work that Daniel Warren Johnson has been doing on Image Comics and their Skybound imprint, which I believe is wrapping things up after this issue 12. No spoilers. I will not spoil it, but you should be able to collect that first trade right now to get the first 6 issues. get whatever singles you can. That second volume will probably be out, and you'll be able to read that entire Transformers Skybound saga from start to finish. They may announce something new, so I would think Hasbro Pulse would be the place to do that. So that's what we may be seeing with Transformers. But for the next part of the episode, and we're moving at a full clip, we're moving full steam ahead, we need to talk about what will the next G.I. Joe HasLab be. Now, once again, the Rattler did amazingly. It is the highest selling HasLab for the G.I. Joe brand. And that team should be very proud of itself, because I remember the naysayers. I remember people talking smack about it. I don't want to really get into it too much. I said a little bit about it on Black Genghis, but I just want to say that I'm really proud of what the Joe team was able to accomplish, even with all the controversy and everything else. 28,096 backers, right? They unlocked all this good stuff. All that stuff, it got unlocked. And also, we were able to get all the figures. People will be able to get this stuff. And they should feel really proud of themselves. If they were able to get that His tank, they were able to get that Dragonfly, they were able to do this Cobra Rattler, the sky's the limit. No pun intended. Just go ahead and just keep making dope stuff. It's what we want. It's what we need. All right, there's so many vehicles, so many different characters you can get it. And really, it's about the size factor and it's about the tier level, right? I feel like they didn't do themselves any favors by reducing it to 3 figures and accessories versus 4 figures. So I think the next HasLab has to at least be either 4 figures, or for whatever figure we don't get, shave off that $25. So right here with this HasLab, once again, if this was also 300 with only 3 figures, so instead of that 325, because what's the extra 25 for? The patches, never mind. The point is that if this was 299, this probably would have done even better. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. So once again, let me see if I can find a here. Okay, here it is. So remember this. Remember this 33 inches long, 32 inches wide, and with wings up 14 inches high, right? That's going to be important because I think this is a good metric for what you can expect out of a HasLab. Jason Ness says, Rattler patches reference Tank Smashers. Mobat is next, and they'll move on to water vehicles. Okay, man, we'll see. Punk with Toys says 6 patches. Indeed. All right, man, let's go ahead and get back into it. So once again, these figures look amazing with each other. We got the Dragonfly right next to the His tank, right next to the Rattler, and the Vamp and the Ferret for scale in size comparison. It's a really good time to be a fan. It's a strong product. It's a strong lineup. Let's see what's going to happen next. I think Jason S., you're onto something. I think the Mobat is next. And I think not only should they not just focus on the Mobat, I think we need the Mobat and we need add-ons. So I think we need a Wolverine add-on and we need a Bridge Layer add-on. Ramen Toy did something very similar. And I think Hasbro should just do the same thing. They should do exactly the same thing. Shout out to Ramen Toy. Shout out to what Ace is doing over there with those tanks. I believe the RAV is what those are called. But if you want tiers, you unlock, it comes with Steeler. So it comes with Steeler. And you unlock not just the Wolverine add-on. The Wolverine add-on should be a tier. And it should come with, say, a Night Force cover girl. All right. Or it'll come with a blonde cover girl. That's how you can do it. It could be like a retro cover girl. And it'll be on retro card back, just the same way that the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander was with the His tank. So that's one way that you can do it. So you can do, I couldn't fit her on this slide. You could do a blonde retro cover girl on card back with a Wolverine tank turret tier that adds on top of the Mobat. Then you can also do a Bridge Layer tier that comes with Toll Booth. All right. So you have the Mobat, you have a Wolverine turret tier, you have a bridge layer tier, and you have Steeler, Retro, CoverGirl, and Toll Booth. You may be able to fit a fourth figure in there. I don't know. Maybe OG-13 Hawk, right? Oh my goodness. But I don't know. That SMS by itself with a figure was $75. But if you just included it as a tier to come with this, then you can have OG-13 Hawk with the MMS as a fourth tier. If enough people back the Mobat and they can get that fourth tier, I'd do that. I'd get a Mobat with a Wolverine turret, a bridge layer turret, and an MMS with an OG Hawk, a retro card cover girl, and Toll Booth, and Steeler. Hell yeah. That would be my HasLab right there. MCR says the Mauler was cooler. Okay. Jason Ness, I'm going to channel Baldylocks and say the Wolverine and Bridge Layer could be Pulse exclusives, not HasLab. Okay, yeah, you can probably do it for a smaller scale. It doesn't necessarily have to be a HasLab. It doesn't have to be all bells and whistles. Lawrence is saying they can't copy what Ramen is doing. It's a bad look. It will cause people to go after them about it. That's a good point. I just wish they had done it first. In fact, let's go ahead and let's pay a visit over to our buddy Ramen and take a look over at Ramen Toy. So once again, we have the REV, the Ramen Economical Vans. You can still pre-order these now. The Desert Tank has closed its pre-order, but we still have these. It's still early bird pricing, so now is a good time to get in on that. So that bridge layer accessory, $90. Desert Phalanx, the Wolverine, that's $60. And of course, man, what a friggin' deal! You can get that tank for $140 still. And still add on different accessories for the bad guys. Get the Cobra tanks, and once again, get the Cobra accessories for those too. So once again, it is a good time to be a fan. Shout out to Ace. Shout out to what he's doing. I'm definitely getting that 18 recoil van, and once you get one thing, it's like Lay's. It's hard to stop. You know, like for example, let's see if I can pull this over here. I did get that CAG set, and I need to go ahead and put it on my 89 Batmobile. I got rid of the Flash Batmobile, and then went ahead and picked up the one from 1989 instead. So, yeah, Ramen Toy, stuff comes in. Stuff looks great. It's a good time. It's a great canopy, and, yeah, I just need to go ahead, and I just need to put that sucker on right now with the guns and everything else. Here's another look at the guns. Right? So the man does good work. The paint's great. Everything's top notch. So yeah, I need to go ahead and soup up that 89 Batmobile. I need to go ahead and pre-order that 18 tank. But let's go ahead and let's take another look at what I think is up for the HasLab. And yeah, Hasbro could have done a Cobra tank as well. So once again, Ramen's pretty smart for doing that as well. You want both tanks, you can go ahead and get those, including with Bridge Layer and Wolverine turrets. Snowcat and Frostbite. I think just because it's good for the community, people just look the other way. If you're buying Ramen Toy, that means you're probably buying Hasbro, you're probably buying Mattel, you're probably buying all this other stuff. Like Hasbro was probably able to get the mask license over to loyal subjects because Ramen Toy did so well with selling his mask, vehicles, and figures as well. Tony, brother from another mother. Shout out to the Terradrome. More on that later. Okay, so here's the thing with Snowcat and Frostbite. You already have Snow Job. You already have the Arctic Joes. You have all this stuff, right? We have all this snow stuff, all this snow gear, the snow serpents, the retro snow serpents. So I think you do the Snowcat. Do the Snowcat, and all the tiers should be Arctic tiers. All right? So that means Arctic Joes. Hell, go ahead and throw in the Arctic Baroness. Throw in the Arctic Destro. Like, you have so many great examples of Arctic episodes from Sunbow and everything else that I think it's a shoo-in. Like, you have like the Joes and Arctic Gear Duke, in Arctic gear, Arctic Snake Eyes, Arctic Quick Kick, which is exactly the same as Quick Kick. How did he not just get frostbite everywhere? But anyway, I think that Snowcat, the tiers speak for themselves. And I would be very, very interested in seeing what a 112 scale Snowcat with blast effects and all the trimmings look like, along with frostbite. Like, I think they need to make that happen. I think there's enough fandom energy out there that they can make Snowcat and frostbite happen. So, what say you, fine folks, about Snowcat? MCR says Snowcat is so amazing. It looks like a toy released now, not back then. Kudos, man. They knew how to make them back then. Jason S says irradiated snake eyes. Iceberg, yes. Iceberg. What's another one? They had a lot of Arctic Joes, but basically you have the Arctic Joes be the tiers for this. Arctic Stalker. So like here's the retro scale Stalker. So you can go ahead and do Tundra Stalker with his kayak and have that be a tier for this. So just make it a full Arctic Joe suite is what I'm saying about that. Tony agrees, So I think but it's going to be size and scale and figs. That's what it's going to be. If we're only going to get 3 figs, I don't think it should go above $299. I would pay $299 for a HasLab Snowcat with frostbite, iceberg, Arctic Stalker, and whatever else you can think of. 3 figs, include the kayak, of course, and have a full Arctic suite of Joes. $300 for a 112 scale Snowcat. And once again, just to talk about the size. So this is like pretty much the sweet spot for it. I was there at San Diego. I was able to see it up close. So that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for basically 33 inches, 33 by 33 by 10. Like you do that, that's the his tank, that's the Dragonfly, that's the Rattler. Fold it up, maybe it's about 14 inches high, right? So that's the sweet spot you're looking for when you're doing that stuff. Son of a Crayon Slayer, hell yeah, I'd be in. All right, so Snowcat, that's looking like a good choice for HasLab. Jason Ness says, Snowcat's a cool vehicle, not sure it has the wide appeal, but figure tiers could sell it. Iceberg, hold on, Tony's got you covered. Blizzard, that's who I was trying to think of. Blizzard, Frostbite, Iceberg, Snow Job Homies, Arctic Stalker with the kayak. I'm telling you, man. Cheers. A cheers. Snowcat would be his size. Yes. Look, imagine. Hold on a second. Imagine the Snowcat with blast effects, blasting out of the snow. All right, with the waves, like with the snow waves, like coming out from the sides, right? Like that would be awesome. Just reuse those same blast effects from Scrap Iron and the drone. Just paint them white because it's just snow being pushed out of the way. Arctic Scarlet would be so cool. No pun intended. I think they can make that happen, man. I think the streets are ready. I think the streets need that to happen. So once again, that's my pick. Snowcat with Arctic Joes. But what about this? Do you think we can get this? I would be willing to get a classified Night Raven and Stratoviper with no other damn tiers. No other figures, none of that. Just give me this damn Night Raven. I'm saying 400. Right? It's basically, it's a lot of plastic. I don't need a lot of innards. I don't need a lot of gels. Like you can put gels in the cockpit and just give me some blast effects. I think we can do Night Raven for $399.99. What say you? Tony's Face is saying Arctic Snakes and Quinn. Jason at SS. Will they do Quinn? Yeah, it's only a matter of time. They're going to do them all. We're going to get Don Marino. We're going to get Snake Eyes 2. We're going to get Quinn. We're going to get all that stuff. We're going to get the Yeti guy, the dude that saved Snake Eyes and his little sled dogs. Super 7 did it. Hasbro will do it too. So I'm thinking that they need to do Night Raven. I would pay 400 for a Night Raven. I think we need to think big. I think we need to just say, this is what we want. I will clear space. I will get rid of an entire collection if it means getting Night Ravens and being able to take photos with a 112 scale classified Night Raven and Stratoviper. You got to think big. If you don't think big, we're not going to get what we want. Do not be afraid to think big. Think big. All right, what's next? Ooh. So if you don't want to do the Night Raven, we can make do with the Conquest X30 instead. And once again, it's going to have that same size profile as Cobra Rattler, maybe a little bit smaller. Jason S. says, after the Rattler, I actually think the Night Raven and Sky Striker are possible. Me too, man. Me too. 28,000. 28,000. Okay? 28,096 backers. Not including tax. $324.99. $9,130,919.04. That's how much that Rattler made. It's just, are you going to make the money or not? All right. Nobody's going to make any money if you don't do this stuff. If you don't make what people are asking for. Let's go ahead and check in with the chat once again. Sabir Del Norte, thanks for joining us, man. Good evening, all. I had this in the OG line. What a fighter jet. Well, I had both of them. I had the Conquest alongside the Raven. Yeah, I think I had both of those as well. Son of a Crown Slayer saying Conquest is too small, maybe for the shelves. Okay, and maybe later on, because Conquest came later. It was like latter-day Joes, definitely. MCR, I honestly think a base would be a great next step for them. That is very interesting. 80s Toy Boy, thanks for joining us, man. So I think there's room. There's room. We can probably get this Conquest on the shelves. Holler at Gun Bunny. Gun Bunny essentially took Mattel Lightyear figures and turned them into Conquests and Cobra stilettos and all that stuff. So yeah, if we can get Mattel to do all those Lightyear figures, then we can probably get a Conquest and a Slipstream on the shelves, on Target, Walmart, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, GameStop, GameStop, you name it. Like, that would be pretty cool. Keith KB Jodograph says, I'd like a Tomahawk HasLab. So you mean one of you mean this? You mean you want to see one of these? It's going to be pretty massive, man. Tomahawk's going to be massive. It'd be cool to get the Tomahawk. I would like to see that happen. What tiers do you think you would get with a Tomahawk, right? You're definitely going to get lift ticket. We may get a ground crew. We may be able to get the guys with the things or whatever, right? You have all the winches and all that stuff. This is a play set. This is a play set with rotors. So as much as I'd like to see that happen, I think it's pie in the sky, man. I don't know. I think it's too much. SCS Dog says, I think if you see the Dragonfly as a ground attack weapon, then the Rattler balances that out. Maybe Hasbro goes Joe ground again, but not tanks. Okay, that's interesting. All right. But once again, let's go ahead and take it back to that Conquest real quick. So maybe it's too small for a HasLab. Maybe you guys have a point, right? I could see myself ordering this from Amazon, from Entertainment Earth, especially if it had blast effects, if it had the smoke effects that can also dog bone into the wing. That'd be pretty awesome. Blast effects to go behind the engine, maybe an actual ejector seat. That'd be pretty cool too. Yeah, I can see that. You don't need to do this as a HasLab, but what about this? What about the Terradrome? I don't think the Terradrome would be an awesome HasLab. I know we've joked about doing it in halves. We joked about doing it in quarters. But once again, Hasbro just made over $9 million off of the Rattler. We've seen the Thundercats and the Cat's Lair. They made that happen. We saw Mattel do that with Eternia. I think if you want to get the GIJoe headquarters, if we want Silent Temple or Cobra Temple, You got to start backing what you want. It's not about, well, Hasbro will make it. They'll make anything. The question is, do we want it? How bad do we want it? Conquest would still be $200 if not HasLab. Okay. There's no reason to inflate the Conquest to a HasLab. But hear me out, because I think Terradrome has the ingredients it needs for a HasLab. It will come with the Firebat. So the Firebat's coming with it. And that means the Firebat's pilot's coming with it, right? AVAC. So you get the Terradrome, you're going to get AVAC, and you're going to get that Firebat. So I'm saying 500. I'm saying 500 for classified series 112 scale Terradrome. $500. All right. That means all the consoles. That means all the details. That means gels. That means lights. That means LEDs. And that means putting batteries in it. That means all that stuff. MCR is saying Skyhawk and Wolverine should follow the steps of the Vamp. Had them on Pulse. GIJoe had great small vehicles. Jason S. It'll be interested to see if they try the Dragon Man pre-order model with GIJoe Classified. They kind of did it with Star Wars Boba Fett Throne Room. Okay. But I'm thinking you can do Terradrome HasLab. It's a base. It's a base and walls. You mold the walls, you mold the dioramas, the consoles, the kiosks, or whatever. You put some gels in it, include some seats. You can have the tiers. You can have Night Force. You can have 7088 figures. You can have Python Patrol figures. You can have all sorts of different things. But the point is, I think it would be a fantastic HasLab. I would make it the centerpiece of my collection. You got the Firebat rising out of that. Yeah, I would totally do that. I would do a Terradrome, Firebat, AVAC HasLab. Get the tiers and everything else. Once again, you got to think big. We're talking about thinking big. How big? Think this big. So even if you didn't get 28,000 backers to get a Terradrome, even if you price it at 600, you would need 15,000 backers to match this. 15,000 for a $600 Terradrome. And then if you were to magically make it $500, 18,000 backers. I think you can do Terradrome. I think you can do Terradrome, and I think you can make it happen. MCR is saying Terradrome will be around $800. $800? $800, man, I don't know. Would I still do $800 for a classified Terradrome? Sabir Del Norte, I'm good with a 200, 280 price point Pulse Channel Conquest if it isn't a HasLab project, actually. Freeze that year up for what more collectors truly would like to see as a HasLab project. And he agrees with MCR. No reason they couldn't go the same route as Vamp, Stinger, and Trouble Bubble. All right. So maybe that's too big. Maybe we're not ready to talk $800, $1,000. What do you think Tomahawk and Lift Ticket would get? Do you think we could do Tomahawk for $400, $399 Tomahawk, and just gut it? Just gut it. Basically, you have gels in the cockpit, and that's it. You have Slipstream, and you have room for other Joes. But it's basically just a helicopter-shaped box at that point with rotors, right? So I think if you're smart about it, I think you can engineer a $399.99 Tomahawk for HasLab. $550 for option 2. Okay, all right. $549.99. Why not? MCR is saying Vamp, Skyhawk, Wolverine, and Ram were my rapid response team. That's one hell of a team. Jason S. It would have to be half a Terradrome or Hinged. The design with shelves in mind. Okay, that's a good point. Do half, and if you want it, you can take off the plastic backing and you can actually connect the two. I would do two. I don't know I would do two for $1,000 though. I don't know I would do that. Jason S. Maybe it had to be 3 figures tops, including the pilot. Okay, that's fair. So we're hearing 400. Like if they want 500 for the Tomahawk, I wouldn't do that. But I think enough people would do that. That if you had 15,000 backers for a Tomahawk, for a $500 Tomahawk, you still get 7.5 million, 7.5 mil. So I think that makes business sense for Hasbro. I think a $4.99 Tomahawk HasLab is doable. Lift ticket, throw in a couple of figs, and hella blast effects and missiles and whatnot, winching, all that stuff. But at that point, man, those rotors have better spin. Those rotors have better spin on their own. I better be able just to press a button and just watch them twirl on their own. If I'm spending that much money, put some fucking batteries and motors on that rotor. So I flip a switch or press a button and they just go. If I'm going to be spending that much money, that's real talk. Sabrina Norte. Oh yeah, you put the right figs in the tier system with the T-Hawk. I think people will get behind it. Okay. So what about this one? This is Havoc with Cross Country. Once again, we saw something similar with the Snowcat. In fact, I think Snowcat, if I'm not mistaken, uses a lot of the same stuff. So let's take a look. Okay, not quite. They don't have to be shitty. They don't have to make a Havoc out of a Snowcat, but it's a lot of the same design principles. Same thing, lying down in the cockpit and the canopy and then making it work. So I think you could do a Snowcat, and I think you can do a Havoc HasLab. I wouldn't want a Havoc. I think there's more of a play factor and a more fun factor with the Snowcat because of all the other Arctic possibilities you could do. A full Arctic squad to go along with the Snowcat. I don't know who you put with this outside of Cross Country. I honestly wouldn't. Or a Python Patrol Rancor. Too soon. I wanted that Rancor. They screwed it up. Yeah, I don't know who would get this. Let me go ahead and speed on a bit because I have a bit more show to do. All right, so we have the Thunder Machine Thrasher. I think the Thunder Machine can actually go to I think it could go to retail, right? You would have to pare it down. It wouldn't be bells and whistles. And there's a part of me, frankly, that wants a bells and whistles Thunder Machine with Thrasher and then other Dreadnoks. But you also don't want to lock those Dreadnoks behind either. I get that. All right. So, I don't know, man. I think you could do a $200 HasLab, but at that point, is it even still a HasLab? No, it's not a HasLab. So, but Thrasher is just a cool character, and he's going to come with a Thunder Machine. So if you're not going to do a HasLab Thunder Machine with Dreadnought tiers, they'd be the perfect tier, but whatever. If you're not going to do that, how much should the Thunder Machine cost? How much should the Thunder Machine cost with Thrasher if we're not going to take this and make this into a HasLab? Can you see the Thunder Machine being $100? Like, is the Thunder Machine going to be $100 or not? Cold Slither members. Okay, yeah. See, that's perfect for HasLab. That's the only way to get it, and you have like instruments and all that stuff. DJ 5 Ash wants a Thunder Machine. 80s Toy Boy wants a Thunder Machine. However they have to do it. I heard that, man. Jason Ness says Thunder Machine at Pulse. Love it. Think will happen. They're going hard with Dreadnoks. $150, $149.99 for the Thunder Machine and Thrasher. Okay, yeah. I think there's a lot of community interest in the Thunder Machine. We all love Dreadnoks, so today Lenny is crazy about Dreadnoks. KB Jodograph says the Thunder Machine should include Thrasher and Monkey Wrench. I don't want to lock Monkey Wrench in with that. But there's no one that's getting a Thunder Machine that doesn't want Monkey Wrench, and there's no one getting a Monkey Wrench that doesn't want a Thunder Machine. So that's a good point. But I think we have a lot of new collectors collecting Joe. So I think Monkey Wrench is a fun enough of a character. That Monkey Wrench should be on pegs. Monkey Wrench should be on pegs, not with Thrasher and the Thunder Machine. That's what I'm going to say. All right. And now we also have the Phantom X19 with Ghost Rider. I think with something like this, I think 5 or 6 years from now, if Classified Series is still around, we'll end up seeing this on shelves. But we're probably not going to get a HasLab out of this. Frankly, it's ugly. And I had this. and it gets the job done. It's a jet, and you can put your Joes in it, but it is ugly compared to some of the other things. So I don't think this is a contender. When we're talking latter day stuff, 89, 90, 91, 92, that stuff's not going to make HasLab. That stuff's probably not going to make classified series. I don't think so. SCS Dog says Phantom is cool. I'd rather see the Conquest first. 80s Toy Boy agrees. Looks cool. Not much playability for a 6-inch vehicle. Yeah. It would just be just a sculpture taking up space on your shelving at that point. Good point. And then what about this? What say you to Rolling Thunder? 500, 600, 700, 800? There's a lot of shit that comes with this Rolling Thunder. A Rolling Thunder HasLab? I think now, now is the time to do it. Because now you actually have the strength and interest and everything else. If you don't do it now, then I think you're just not going to get that stuff. Like classified series is hot. Hold on a second. Classified series is red hot. Now is the time to do that stuff. Last year would have been the time to do Rolling Thunder HasLab. They couldn't convince the suits in time, right? Like when it was red hot, when you couldn't find shit on pegs or shelves and everybody was buying up everything. Where you could sell a Cobra Island Cobra Trooper for damn near $200. That was the time to do a Rolling Thunder HasLab. And I think you can still do that. I think you can do that now. But if you don't do Rolling Thunder next year or 2026 or 2027, then you don't ever do Rolling Thunder. You just give up on it and it just never happens. Son of a Crown Slayer says $650 for a Rolling Thunder HasLab. Salinas says Rolling Thunder would be 5 feet long, about the size of Jabba's sail barge. And then once again, people got Jabba's sail barge. People were buying Legos Star Destroyers for $1,000. People are getting this stuff. They're getting full-scale Snyder Cut Justice League busts for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. Yeah, people bought Unicron. They bought Galactus. They troop built HasLab Sentinels. Homies having 3, 4, 5 HasLab Sentinels. Giant man. Yeah, it'd be the size of Jabba's sail barge, and I want that. And I want it. Let's go ahead and go back at it. Classified series, Rolling Thunder. What say you? Pixie's Designs Rolling Thunder is 45 inches long. Damn. And I think, you'd be smart. You could cheat it. It'd be closer to a 114 Rolling Thunder, but you could cheat it. What's up, Blitz? Cheers to you, man. I should have poured something. DJ 5 Ash, you think there are so many Joe Cobra vehicles they could get away with 2 HasLabs a year? They want classified series to last. Classified series, if they do this right, it will outlast Real American Hero. Real American Hero was 1982 to 1994. And in those 12 years, they redefined what you could do with an action figure. Classified series is trying to do the same thing. Classified series made collecting cool again. It made toy hunting cool. It made fig hunting cool. It made customizing cool again. Classified series changed the game, and they're in it to last. So they're smart. What I would do, I'd do a HasLab and make it count. I would wait until that HasLab was ready to get released. Dragonfly, they had to go back in and fix some things. It's worth it. We need the His tank to be perfect. We need the Dragonfly to be perfect. We need the Rattler to be perfect. And whether it was going to be Snowcat, Terradrome, Thunder Machine, or even Rolling Thunder, it needs to be perfect, and they need to take their sweet time with it. MCR says, seeing the barge in person is very impressive, I bet. Brian Swanson, what's up, man? Good seeing you, dude. I have to pick between that 3.5-foot Star Destroyer and anything else. Good point, man. I hear you, man. Toy Boy says, I'd be in favor of some smaller HasLabs. They don't all have to be big projects. I believe Transformers had Victory Saber for about 170, 180. It was a good way to gauge interest and not let things go to Roscon. I don't want this to go to Roscon. Like, we need to buy this. And by the way, man, you're never late. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. And yeah, man, I always try to make it good for the replay crew, for real. Selena says, I could see the Rolling Thunder and Phantom as Transformers crossovers. Now you have my attention. Already running out of room? Me too. I'm flipping stuff. I had to clear out room. I got to pick and choose between big items across multiple lines. Tough passing on the Rattler. I'm probably going to pick up the Rattler aftermarket once I'm able. I'm putting it that way. For a HasLab of 500 plus, you think they push the windows? I think so. Give people time to get that bread. Yeah, exactly. Don't rush people. For something like that, let people get time to get their bread. Don't make it a pressure campaign, or you're going to lose goodwill and trust. You're going to lose sentiment, right? Like, that's something you have to earn. For me to get a $600 Rolling Thunder HasLab, I need a couple of pay periods before I can put that stuff aside. And that means saying no to a lot of stuff. I'd have to say no to Masters of the Universe. I'd have to say no to McFarlane DC Multiverse. I have to say no to a lot of shit. But it'd be worth it if I could press that button and pay for that Rolling Thunder as soon as that last day ends. Chad agrees. Longer days, longer windows, higher price points. And, you have stuff like, well, man, what was this again? I forget what this was. Condor? Cobra Condor, something like that. All sorts of weird stuff. I don't think you're going to get things like this on shelves or even Pulse exclusives. I think some stuff is just not going to get made. Shout out to Six Element of Hip Hop. I hope they do the Snowcat. I think the Snowcat makes sense. And I think an Arctic troop of Joes, Iceberg, Blizzard, Frostbite, Arctic Stalker, I think it makes sense. Throw in some extras. Gun Bunny, it'd be nice if they allowed us to pay in 2 payments on a 500, 600 HasLab. Be careful with that multi-payment. Be careful with, don't worry about that. Be careful with buy now, pay later, because you don't want to get cut off guard and you don't want it to mess up your credit. I prefer to pay things for upfront, so I don't have to worry about it. Shout out to Robo, formerly of Foosh. That's how he does it. He pays right then and there, and when it shows up, it's a lovely surprise. So you're not caught off guard or having to cancel things that you wanted for your collection that you don't really have the funds for at the moment. Like, make sure you have the funds first. Sixth Element. The Night Raven would be the ultimate. And by the way, I say this because I used to get a lot of stuff buy now, pay later. It catches up with you. It gets dark. It gets dark fast. So it's probably better to pay up front. But with something 500, 600, 700, paying in 4 installments, paying in halves, paying in 6 installments, that would be nice because you're basically buying like an appliance. You're buying furniture at that point. Put aside $2 a day, you have over $700 in a year. Shout out to Salinas. That's the way to do it. Blitz says, as a majority 6-scale collector, one thing I've noticed since starting on 112 a year ago with the success of Classified, you guys are just now seeing the reason you can't collect everything. Yeah. I remember the Sideshow Joes. I've been a window shopper for a long time. I missed out on the entirety of Motu Classics. And I wanted Motu Classics. I wanted the movie figures. I love Masters of the Universe movie. Missed out on all that stuff. I missed out on the early Hasbro Marvel Legends when MCU was red hot. By the time that Black Panther came along, Black Panther, Rise of Skywalker, that's when I started collecting. Mandalorian Season 1. Like, my first toy hunt was finding the Mandalorian Black Series figure. And for a friend, not even for me. So, yeah, man, I missed out on a lot of stuff. And you can't get everything. You have to choose. Even within a line, you got to choose. Blitz said it. You got to streamline. Exactly right. MCR, which has been the most expensive HasLab so far, the Planet from Transformers. Yeah, Unicron, I think Sail Barge. I think Sail Barge costs around the same thing. Salinas, Hurricane VTOL would be nice. Okay. Shout out to Al Coombs. What's up, man? Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Extremely excited at the possibility of Rolling Thunder, Thunder Machine, and Terradrome. They're all possible at this point. Yeah, man, anything's possible. It really is. Blitz is saying start now for next year's HasLab. Yeah, put a few bucks away. Just save it. So by the time that thing you really wanted comes out, you can probably get it on sale, right? or you may have to pay the iron price, like. But if you really just wait, you can get stuff that you want. You don't have to get it immediately. Like, I was chasing Walgreens Silver Surfer, they reissued it. Fantastic. You don't have to get everything now, and you can save your money up, and that's when you can get the really good stuff. Aaron the Toy Enhancer, what's up, man? Yo, check out Aaron the Toy Enhancer. This dude, he really puts in work, and even though he's doing a lot of work with brands and products that shall remain nameless, I am a fan of your work, dude. I love how you electrify things. I love how you do your customs. So right now, his latest video is his custom stinger. So I'm going to direct people to that really quick. I'm always down with this stuff. But also check out his other videos as well. The dude puts in work. The dude goes in. Like, he gets down. I'm talking about adding LEDs. I'm talking about adding gels in the interior. All that stuff. Fixing the blast effects. I don't know for the life of me why they made thermodynamically inaccurate blast effects. Thank you for fixing those. Sick tattoos, by the way. Check out Aaron the Toy Enhancer. Man, and you're giving shout out to Toy Polloid. That's why I love this community. I'm giving you a shout out, and you're giving someone a shout out during my shout out of you. I love it. I love this community. I really do. And good work on that nameless generic military product that I won't name by name because fuck them. That's why. Anyway, MCR, do you see them doing an all-new vehicle someday? Adding vehicles to GIJoe, that would be interesting. I would really love to see that. Swanson asks, speaking of giant toys, have you seen the 4-foot-tall Metroplex from Lewin Resources? I have not. You got to be careful with third party, man. Third party, once you get into third party, you do not get out. Third party is something new. All right, let's head over. Let's go to imports and let's check out GIJoe's store real quick. Holy hell. The deposit's 100. I know they're serious. This sucker's 4 feet tall? I don't want to know, man. I don't want to know. Oh, man. That looks awesome. 3 different modes. Bombus Bee. All right, let's take a look. Really quick. 1 second. Holy hell. Are you serious? How much do they want for this, man? You got to be careful with third party. Third party transformers, they'll take a hold on you. They'll take a hold of you. And it's different. It's built different. It's not like Hasbro. It will consume you, and you will get used to a higher form of collectible, a higher form of transformer, and you will not go back. This motherfucker transforms. This transforms, bro. A 4-foot-tall transforming Metroplex, bro. Oh, man. Are you serious, bro? Oh, no. This looks fresh, man. That looks fresh. That's fresh. Oh, man. Okay. $100 deposit. Yeah. You're putting down some bread for real. Yeah, man. Anything's possible. You can make anything. You really can. Aaron, you're quite welcome, dude. 6 Element says, I can't imagine them making any extra big stuff like Terror Drum Flag Defiant just because in the scale, where's it going to go? That's a good point, man. You may have to pick and choose. I would have to clear space for my Rattler. And me getting a Rattler wasn't about putting down the money. It was not having space. I had to make space and then I had to bite the bullet and pay for an aftermarket Rattler and figures and accessories and the patches. Jason S., save your money, drink your water. Amen. All right. Yeah, take a drill to it, whether it's a Dremel kit or whatever you have, and make it work. You got to fix those. Let's see. They did the coil and it didn't bode well. Okay. So did the corporate coil. Moray. All right. Interesting. 1,200 to 1,500 for that third-party 4-foot Metroplex. 88 pounds. I believe it. Oh my goodness. Ships in 3 boxes. Oh my goodness. You need 2 strong people to transform it. Yeah, man, that's a different league right there, man. But man, damn if I don't want to reach that, because I respect third party. I respect Fans Toy. I respect everything that's going on. Shout out to Bobby Skullface. Shout out to all the Transformers fans who've been rocking with third party this whole time. Aaron says, "Take my money, Transformers." Yeah. Todd C, you guys are. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, BG, but I was able to come back after dabbling in third party. Okay, yeah, but don't apologize for being late. Not that you were. I had to read the comments first. Third party is that's a different league, man. That's something else. My wife said there's no room, so I need to figure out how to transform into an end table. True, and she's a very smart lady, so yeah, she knows what she's talking about. This stuff is furniture at this point. Someone gonna do an STF1 someday. Oh man, forget that. I'll make it work. I will get a 4-foot tall, 88-pound, $1,500 STF1. I'm that guy. I'll do that. I'll find a way. Al Combs is saying, I wish you didn't just share that. I'm on the internet right now searching for it. If there's any chance that the quality of that Metroplex is great, I will 100% buy it. Wow. Go slow. Because if you're buying that Metroplex, chances are you ain't buying nothing else. I know I ain't. I'm just thinking about it. Toy Kind of Mood. What's up, homies? Be careful. Pulse charging for those Twilight 2-packs. Twilight, great movie, great soundtracks. I could do this for 1,000 years. 6 Elements. Skip the hiss, but had to get the Dragonfly and the Rattler. Wish could have got the Dragonfly first. Mark saved from Twilight 2-packs. Yeah, man, I had to skip a lot of stuff. Shout out to the SCF1. Same here, man. All right, man. Yeah, come chill with us, man. It's going to be a fun time. Swanson is saying, wait for team reviews to review it. Okay, we'll see. And just really quick, let's finish out this stuff with what the Joe HasLab could be. The whale. Are we going to get the whale with Cutter? What other tiers would you get? We already got the 60th anniversary divers. We already have Torpedo. Deep Six, perhaps? Maybe. I don't know. But why? Why? You don't put Deep Six on a whale. You put Deep Six on a shark. We're going to get the shark on shelves, and then we'll get Deep Six. Sky Striker. I think it's time for a classified Sky Striker. I think this is where this is headed. We already did the Sky Striker HasLab, so we already have that precedent. And it did rather well. Let me see if I can find how it did. And that was O-ring, 375 scale. But it did pretty good. Yeah, so it only had a target of 10,000. I'm going to have to pay a visit to my buddies over at Geek Dad Life. Let's take a look at the Brian Brink HasLab charts. All right, so bear with me for a second. Let's go ahead and head over there. Let's see how that other Sky Striker did, because I think we can get a classified version. I think this is where this is headed. All right, we got the Dragonfly. We got this. All right. So this is the HasLab numbers. All right. So they all pretty much start at the same spot. And then we see where stuff ends, where it goes. The Rattler outsold his tank, outsold Dragonfly. Let's see. We don't have the Sky Striker on here. So let me see if I can find something else in the previous HasLab chart. But yeah, that's how strong the Rattler was. And they did great. They did a great job. And it was fun seeing how all these different HasLab campaigns, will it get backed? Will it not? I can't really find how many backers the O-Ring 375 Sky Striker had, but it was a lot. And you can still buy that Sky Striker elsewhere. You can buy in the Big Bad Toy Store, or you can pay the iron price. And go on eBay, that kind of stuff. Okay, you can't really go on Big Bad Toy Store anymore, so you had to pay the iron price for it. But hell, still pretty good. So yeah, I think you double the price. So instead of $225, it's $450. But you still get Ace. You still get. We already have Glenda, so maybe you get officially a Pilot Scarlet, and then you get the Flight Crew, right? So you just do what you did for the 375 O-Ring HasLab and do it again for Classified series. I would definitely get that. Jason Ness says it was over 16,000 backers for a Side Striker. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Gun Bunny says they could add Army Builder crew members for the Whale, just like the Gunner with the Rattler. Okay, I can see that. BX Medic, hey brother Genghis, thank you for all that you. Oh, thank you so much, and shout out to the Toy Kind of Mood dudes as well. You guys are awesome. You're awesome. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining as well, man. Really appreciate it. Chad says Whale would be awesome. Okay, just like Jonah and the Whale. Moody wants the Whale. If it's Joe, okay. I think people are ready for it. Blitz is ready for Sky Striker. Okay. Jason, once again, he says the death of the Rancor helped that Sky Striker. Okay. Swanson wants a GIJoe Transformers Jetfire Macross crossover. Yeah, man. I think Jetfire, the reissue, is back at Big Bad Toy Store. And you can also get the Rick Hunter Veritech from Robodo 3.0 made Robotex. So you had the Veritechs, and you also have the Roy Fokker Veritech as well. So I'm tempted. I'm tempted at getting a Jetfire and Rick Hunter's Veritech, and just to compare them. Just because, what else am I going to do? Spin it on attractive women? Anyway, let's go ahead. SD S Dog says if Cutter shows up on card, no Whale. All right, there it goes. Gun Bunny saying you can add Deep Six wetsuit topside to the Whale. All right. Oh, they got you yesterday? Yeah. They're going for the pockets, man. I had to cancel a lot of stuff. I'm taking it slow right now. I missed out on a lot of stuff. It is what it is. Yeah, dude. Moody agrees. Thank you so much for those kind words, BX Medic. Salinas is saying with each HasLab, space becomes an issue for everyone. They need to do the Whale sooner than later. Yeah. Like if we don't get it now, I think we just don't get it. I think you don't get Cutter. You don't get Cutter ends up on card. We end up with a retro Cutter, and there it is. DJ Mr. McFly, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us, dude. Al Coombs is saying we can do the Whale and Hydrofoil back to back. I guess the next HasLab would be Mauler, Wolverine, Bridge Layer, like you mentioned. Thank you very much for that. But Lawrence had a good point, because Hasbro can't be seen as ripping off Ramen Toy. That's a very good point. Let's see here. Aaron, give him props to Moody. Yeah, man, I should have went to Joe Fest. I'm glad you guys had a great time. Salinas wants a classified failsafe. Okay, that's what you know. Well, hey, man, I'm in LA, so the people who are on the internet, they're out here. So I gotta save up. Either way, I gotta save up my money. Let's take a look at that failsafe real quick. I'm curious about that, and then we're gonna go on and talk about Beetlejuice real quick. All right. So yeah, you get a fail-safe figure to go along with that HasLab Sky Striker. That'd be pretty cool. So fail-safe was originally with the Sky Striker, and fail-safe came with the HasLab Sky Striker. All right, so yeah, we can go ahead and get that too. Let me go ahead, holler at my friends over at Toy Habits, one of my favorite theme songs on the internet right now. Toy Habits. All right, yeah. So you had Ace, you had Failsafe. That's just good taste. Yeah. So holler at Toy Habits, holler at their YouTube account, holler at them on their website. Don't block ads. Help them get some money. There was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. The ejector seats, the blast effects, the stand. Let's do it again. And let's do it in classified form. I'm ready. I think the streets are ready. I think we need to do that. Once again, ace, feel safe, parachutes, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and let's get that. Let's get a classified Sky Striker. I'm ready. The streets are ready. All right. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. This one's going to be a long one. I'm an enormous Tim Burton Beetlejuice fan. Beetlejuice has been one of my favorite films ever since I can remember. It was just a fun, macabre time watching that movie. Really cool. Let's finish up that HasLab talk. If you have stuff ordered on Pulse, you might want to check your stuff. Marine Sniper, Retro Stalker, and 3 new Transformers dropping on the 17th as well. It sounds like I may need to just wait until I get paid before I pick that stuff up. If it sells out, it sells out. McFly says they have all the parts for Cutter now. The whale won't be as big as people think. It will be big. Space is an issue. I had to clear space just to pay some lucky schmuck for his extra Rattler, whatever. Personally, I don't want a Sky Striker. It's outdated. I go with the Conquest or something future forward. Interesting. Very interesting, Salinas. 80s Toy Boy is saying the whale has so many cool features and elements. I think it'd be awesome. You're not wrong. You are totally not wrong about that. Want a crossover Sky Striker? Yeah, Transformers Sky Striker? That'd be pretty cool. I did see the new Beetlejuice. No spoilers. It's a great time at the movies. Have a lot of fun. I think it's going to be great. So let's talk about one of my favorite picks of the year. I think this is a perfect action figure right now. And that is the Mezco Toys Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice, a.k.a. Beetlejuice. So let's go ahead and let's break it down and let's move real quick since I spent over an hour on theorizing what the GIJoe HasLab would be. That was its own episode. I should have just saved that for its own episode. But it's amazing. Soft goods, you can't beat that stuff. It really is great. Let's go ahead and let's do it this way. It comes with the carousel head, lights up features. That's great. Even comes with the hammer arms. This is a great figure. I need this figure. I need to recreate all the stuff that's going on here. Even a light up tombstone, just that silly, goofy, cheesy shit that Beetlejuice is known for. Just a lot of fun. If you see the movie, you've seen the trailer, you know that he has like a guitar, he sings a song, he sings a silly, goofy song. So I need that. I need Beetlejuice trying to serenade Lydia Dietz back into his life. Handbook for the recently deceased. Look at those hands. Look at those different head sculpts. Speaking of head sculpts, I think it even comes with, oh man, that is just intense. Great Michael Keaton likeness right there. Hopefully it's this good in hand. Like, I got to get this figure. I need this figure. At $155, I know it's pricey. But when you buy figures like these, you're not just buying an action figure. You're buying a full suite. To get all those extra heads, extra hand sculpts, all that stuff, you would have to be buying multiple figures anyway. That's what McFarlane does. Sure, you're paying 20, 25, 30 bucks for a figure. But then to get all that stuff, I see people buying an entire case of Green Lantern figures just to get that chase, to get all 4 heads. Like, that's a lot. Like, it's cheap until it isn't. So yeah, 4 interchangeable heads, 10 interchangeable hands. You get the display base, the posing post. Look at that. Look at this suit. It's a perfect suit. This is a perfect action figure. You got, once again, the light up tombstone, that carousel head. You can sell that carousel head by itself and you can probably make your money back. Yeah, I gotta get this. This is a must have. It's a must buy. Go see Beetlejuice. It was fantastic. You got to get your hands on this. Figure Fight Club agrees. Definitely got the pre-order. Salinas would take a Transformers crossover Sky Striker. It would have to be a bad guy if you're going to get Starscream. So I'm pretty sure they have a Cobra Sky Striker, and you can make a Starscream out of it. Yeah. You can get it on Entertainment Earth. You can get it a lot of places. But let's talk about some other Beetlejuice stuff. Like right now, it's a good time to be a Beetlejuice fan. So I'll make this really, really quick. I know I always say that, but I will. So you can get a talking Beetlejuice for $98 if you're that big of a fan. Some of these are sold out. but you can still join the wait list for that. It's really about this deluxe edition Beetlejuice. That's what you really want to do. There's also, let's put that down. That is a game changer, though. Don't forget to use code ATKM10 to save 10% on in-stock items at Entertainment Earth. That's for Toy Kind of Mood, ATKM10 for Entertainment Earth. But this is the NECA quarter scale Beetlejuice figure. So even if you don't want to get that Mezco action figure, you can get this. Wait for it to get in stock, save 10%, and scare the shit out of some trick-or-treaters. 18 inches. Man, that is a tall figure. I think I'd rather just get the Mezco, frankly. But for people who collect quarter scale, hey man, this is your time to shine. Let's see what other Beetlejuice stuff there is. Beetlejuice. We got stuff from NECA, the Bio Exorcist, a disgusting looking figure, but that's the point. And once again, so not soft goods. So if soft goods aren't your thing, NECA has you covered. You can get this Beetlejuice. Comes with different head sculpts, different face plates, more hands. That's the way to do it. Give us accessories, give us heads, give us hands, give us props, always. If you don't give us that, you're not doing it right. Fun times with the props. You can take photos with this. So you don't want to spend $155, you can spend $37 instead. You can probably do even cheaper than that once you go to Evil Bay and get your hands on that stuff. And there's the Mezco figure once again. You don't have to go to Mezco. Free shipping. You save money if you go to Entertainment Earth or elsewhere instead. You don't have to pay that Mezco shipping. Not to take money out of Mezco's mouth, but Mezco did it to themselves. Funko Pops, GIJoe statues, because of course, why not? All sorts of fun stuff. Beetlejuice Uno, man, I do that. I love Uno. That's my shit. $25 for the red tuxedo Beetlejuice. It's just a fun time. Like, I would have loved this stuff as a kid. Like, this would have been pretty cool, right? So it's all about levels and all about different things. And all the rest. So many Funko Pops. So little time. Let's take it up a notch, shall we? Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the other side. Fine, I accept the cookies. I'm going to have to just delete them later. So here is Sideshow Collectibles Beetlejuice 6 scale. You got to be careful going 6 scale because it's a lot. But we got soft goods here. We got good head sculpts. Honestly, I feel like Mezco's is better. But if you want that higher resolution, if you're taking 6 scale photos, if you're a 6 scale collector, you can go with Sideshow Collectibles. I believe Hot Toys has one as well. $280 for the pre-order. If it's worth it to you. Let's take a look at Hot Toys. Fine, I accept your terms. I accept your cookies. All right, $330. Man, that is a lot, bro. That's a lot. But it's looking good. There's some good looking stuff here. And I think Hot Toys is better. It's basically the same stuff you get with Mezco. That would have been cool to have gotten that Beetlejuice head sculpt with the Mezco, but I think the Mezco is from the original movie, not the sequel. This Hot Toys is more of the sequel. Yeah, so Hot Toys is looking good. I think if I had to choose, if I was doing 1/6 scale, I would probably go with Hot Toys over Sideshow. For $330, I don't know, man. If you're already collecting 1/6 scale and you love Beetlejuice that much, Hot Toys is the way to go. I think Mezco will be just fine. Once again, Big Bad Toy Store, you pay for that shipping, you pay for the extra. I think it's going to even out to be the same cost from Sideshow or Big Bad Toy Store. There's levels to this game. Yeah, that Sideshow comes back down to $300 from BBTS. But it's just a good time to be a fan. It's a good time. If you haven't seen Beetlejuice, I highly recommend it. Go check it out. I had a great time watching that movie. I need to go see it again. And I'm definitely getting that Mezco's Beetlejuice, even though it's not the sequel. I don't get that fun head-popping, tongue-out head sculpt. Aaron says, went to go see Beetlejuice this weekend. I was at the Fanboy Expo last weekend. Okay, cool. Cobra Scythe is the same as the Sky Striker. Okay, pretty cool. Yeah. My son picked up a prop handbook for the recently deceased at Party City. I may look into that. That'll be a fun Halloween prop. Family enjoyed it. Excellent. Excellent. Ooh, Jetfire. Jetfire HasLab? Maybe. We'll see. If Jetfire, they're going to do crossover. Gotcha. Got it. All right. So let's see. We talked about PulseCon. We talked about HasLab. We talked about Beetlejuice. I want to give a big special shout out to Skeletron. I think Skeletron, they're really doing it right as far as indie toy companies go. And yes, we don't have the product in hand, but they've been contacting us and communicating with us constantly through the backer kit, through the updates, through the different advancement notices and everything else. So I'm really highly anticipating ROBOSKULL. You can get some of these figures. I think some of these figures were previewed at GeoFest, maybe some other places. You can definitely get the Skeletrons. And I think you can get some of the 375 figures right now from Skeletron.com and other places. So it's looking really good for fans of that Palatoy Action Force aesthetic, Red Shadows, Skeletron, ROBOSKULL, that kind of stuff, and watching it be modernized. We're seeing the same thing with Fresh Monkey Fiction over at Big Bad Workshop. So it's a good time for that. And it's looking good, man. This stuff is looking nice. I need this. I need that ROBOSKULL pretty please with sugar on top. Like, this is going to be a fun time, man. This is worth the space. That's the thing. It's worth the space, and you got to make it to where once you get your collection how you want it, you don't really need to turn back. Like, you can really say, my collection is good right here. Not that you're going to stop collecting action figures or vehicles or anything like that. But you can just get to a breathing point where you can breathe easy and just have fun with it, right? So let's go ahead. Let's take some more shots of the ROBOSKULL. I can't wait to get this thing in hand. And they are working furiously hard at it. The artwork that it's inspiring is fantastic. And Action Force was always good for that. It was always something where you were reading the comics, you were reading all that stuff, and we'll touch on that in a little bit. But if you get this ROBOSKULL, you're going to be able to be doing some insane things with your collection, especially whether you have 375 figures or 6-inch figures. It's going to be totally worth it. I can't wait. I like where this is going. A shout out to Skeletron. They're going to be at Assembly Required in Iowa this November. If you're in the area, I recommend checking it out. Shout out to Joe Fest in Atlanta. Shout out to Joe Atlanta, DWF Fest. But right now, it's Assembly Required in Iowa, and Skeletron will be there. And I think it'll be worth visiting. So let's take a look at some of the advancements, right? So this is some of their 6-inch work. Shout out to Corey 𝐁𝐥𝐬. He joined Skeletron, and he's helping them out with this stuff. So if you are a fan of Classified series and the work that they did, you're going to be able to be seeing some really cool stuff out of Skeletron and their 6-inch figures as well. So here's a test shot of the Wolf Trooper. Looking really good. I like the accessories. I like the detailing, the greebling on the rifle. Love to see double jointed knees and elbows. I'm always down for that. This is going to be a great addition to that. And these will go very well right along with Operation Monster Force, Order of the Crimson Moon. I can't wait for that stuff. And here's also the Robo Knight mask. Excuse me. The steel molds. And, of course, the lovely ROBOSKULL Mark II. And we'll see how that ends up. If you are so inclined, go to Total Toy Books and check out the Battle Action Force magazines they have going on over there. They've extended the pre-order, so you can still get some of the fun versions they have. GIJoe, their version of Gung-Ho. You have Coral as well. So they extended that pre-order deal, save 25% off of that bundle. It's a great companion piece to go along with your GIJoe compendium from Skybound, or your Art of GIJoe from 3D Joe's. Shout out to R. Carson Metaxas. Shout out to, once again, my friends over at 𝐁𝐥𝐚𝐜. They had a great episode with Skeletron, as well as the one of the original authors of Action Force. So check that out. It was a fun time. They did a great job. Really cool stuff that we're seeing out of that. And of course, Action Force gets a lot of love. So people are making their own customs. They're doing their own thing when it comes down to it. But yeah, when you have Skeletron and you get that ROBOSKULL in hand, it's going to be pretty excellent. So highly recommended. Before we close out the episode, I want to talk about Transformers 1. I have not seen the movie yet. It is out in previews. Critics are talking about it, and it is getting good reviews. And I think they're smart to go all the way back to the beginning. Basically, this is a prequel to that, but not only that, but a reset button, because this is the most time we're spending with the Autobots and Decepticons as main characters, not as secondary characters, not as a secondary, tertiary cast, but seeing them in live and living color on Cybertron. So right now it's still fresh. It was at 91%, dipped down a little bit to 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's getting really good reviews. It's the same director as Toy Story 4, Josh Cooley. I really enjoyed Toy Story 4, so I'm looking forward to this. People are saying it's darker than you might expect, but it looks like it's going to be solid. Tonally, there may be some issues. Sometimes it's silly, sometimes it's hardcore. We'll see how it goes, but that's Transformers for you. But it's getting a lot of good reviews. Some people ain't with it, it is how it is. But for the most part, people are digging it, and that is comforting to me. I love Transformers. I was infuriated by how bad Transformers The Last Night was, and Transformers Age of Extinction was before that. And I think if you do it right, and you really concentrate on really paying respect to the legacy, to the ethos, you can really have something special with this movie, because it's a tragedy what happened on Cybertron. It's a tragedy about this warring people who were never really able to resolve their differences. In so many versions of the lore, Cybertron is lost. It's destroyed. And basically, Transformers, as we know it, it's a refugee story. It's the Autobots looking for a home and protecting their home. Maybe they can go back. Maybe they can save Cybertron. Maybe they can make amends. And maybe they can finally reach the day till all are one. That would be something beautiful to see. So I think Transformers 1 is going to catch people off guard. And of course, that's not how they're selling it. They're selling it, Autobots, Decepticons. These guys can't even transform yet. It's kind of all smiles until it's not, right? So you treat it serious, and you focus on the Transformers. You focus on the characters we came to see. Like, I think in Transformers 1, maybe they have like 15 minutes screen time total. Like, it was really the Shia LaBeouf show for those first 3 movies. Focus on the Transformers. Keep it animated. This is the first animated feature-length Transformers film we've gotten since Transformers the movie back in '86. It's time. It's been time to do it. And I think the next Transformers films probably should be fully animated. If they go on Earth and they're human characters, still keep it animated. Still keep it CG, right? And going on with Transformers GIJoe, take a page out of what they're doing with Skybound in the Energon universe. Don't have it be this goofy, silly Bayformers extravaganza where we can't even tell what we're looking at because things don't even make visual sense, right? Start with the characters, treat them seriously, treat the lore seriously, because it's important. It's important to us as fans. That's how you restart a franchise. Ignore the rest. Start with Transformers 1. You called it Transformers 1 for a reason. And from then on, really treat Optimus and Megatron and RC and Bumblebee and Starscream and Shockwave as full dimensionalized characters. They've lost their home. The Decepticons won't own up to the destruction they did to their own people and their own planet. And give it that sense of gravitas. You can still have fun. You can still have rip-roaring, rollicking adventure, right? But you have to ground it with emotion, with truth. That's where this legacy comes from. That's why we can still get figures like this, or Stalker, or Airborne. All right. That's why we can still talk about irradiated Snake Eyes. Like Snake Eyes sacrificing himself for the rest of the Joes. That was like my introduction to the concept of sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? I had never seen that before. I'd never seen that. And yeah, if I had watched Star Trek Wrath of Khan, then that would have been my introduction to sacrifice. Shout out to Spock. He comes back, so it's okay. But yeah, it's important to us. It's not just toys. It's not just movies. It's not just shows. It's a whole universe. And those universes, that universe is populated with characters, with people who matter. It matters to us. Man, I have got to get used to using this banner. I just never used this banner. If you like what you saw, please like, please share, please subscribe. Subscribing is free. And let people know that we out here, man. Black Genghis is here, live in living color. Have a fun time at PulseCon 2024. 5 years later, it has been fun. What a time. Drink your water, save your dollars, and spend it where it matters. Spend it on the stuff that brings you joy, that brings light to your day, because we need that. All of us. Shout out to Nicole Kidman. Thank you very much for your time. And once again, enjoy your figs. Enjoy yourselves. And I will see you in a couple of weeks. Oh, silly me. Silly me. I almost forgot. Let's see. It's around here somewhere. I know I have it here. There it is. Next week, it is my honor and it is my privilege to welcome none other than Shark Eyes Toy View to the Terrordrome. We are going to go live, I believe, Friday night. I think we're aiming at 6 p.m. So we're not going to go at 5. We're going at 6 p.m., maybe 7 p.m. And Shark Eyes will be joining us live in Australia. It'll be around 11 a.m. noon his time. I think we're going to aim for 11 a.m. his time. Maybe noon. Probably noon. So yeah, 6, 7. We're working out the details, but it will be happening next Friday night. So that will be, if you're stateside, that will be Friday, September 20th. For our international friends, that will be Saturday morning, September 21st. Don't forget to have a bowl of cereal and join us. Welcome back to the Terrordrome featuring Shark Eyes Toy View. All right. Ooh, I knew I was forgetting something. Once again, thank you very much for your time. Take care. Have a great weekend. Until then, it's been Black Genghis Live. Peace.